Good day, everyone. I am Gwen Fionimil Asasebes, and today we'll be talking about Domain 2 Learning Environment under the National Competency Based Teacher Standards. Performance Objectives. At the end of the session, the students will be able to identify what are the strategies they can have in order for them to provide a classroom that is free from distractions. Value the importance of having an environment that is safe and conducive to learning, and explain proper classroom arrangement on their own words. Now, let me ask you, what does a learning environment mean? What makes a great learning environment? And how can you create one in your own classroom? Okay, so first is when you set a classroom, it should create an environment that promotes fairness, which means a classroom that maintains a learning environment of courtesy and respect for different learners. Different learners, for example, is the each abilities of the student, their cultures, or the gender. That provides gender fair opportunities for learning and recognizes that every learner has strengths. To be a teacher, you need to be strong, and a strong teacher is the one that treats their students fairly and creates an environment where students feel equally able to take part. Example is we can have a classroom seating plan that supports equal participation. If we find that a certain students, regardless of their gender, are not participating in class, you can change your class sitting plan. We can have the students who is usually sitting in the back come to the front, because teachers tend to interact the most with the students sitting closest to them. And for this reason, it is important to change the sitting in order for us to give all students a chance to sit near the teacher. Another strategy is we can have discipline. We can discipline them. As a teacher, we must be aware when male students insult female students, or female students insult a male student. If the insults appear to be a gender-based, students may feel discouraged from participating in class. And as a teacher, we must be quick to intervene and discipline the students making insults. This shows students of either gender that they will be supported. Second is a learning environment must make the physical environment safe and conducive to learning, which means to maintain a safe, clean, and orderly classroom free from distraction. Enable for them to learn, we need an environment that is calm so that the student's brain can focus on the lesson. We can paint the walls according to the needs of the students. A color that helps the student calm. We can also remove things that are distracting. Or for us to make a conducive classroom, you can arrange challenging activities given the physical environment. Third is a learning environment must have a communication that has higher learning expectations to each learner that uses individual and cooperative learning activities to improve capacities of learners. For higher learning, we must teach children how to socialize with others, because there are other students who are not really into socializing. And as a teacher, it is our task to help them out to be out of their comfort zone. Let everyone learn by encouraging them to ask more questions so that they can expand their knowledge and allow them to have a variety of experience, like having an activity to nurture the desire for further learning. Like, for example, teaching measurements in kindergarten. We can use both standard measurements or non standard measurements. at the same time. Allow them to experience measuring just by using things that can be found around them, and then use a ruler afterwards. And communicates and maintains high standard of learning performance. And to do this, teacher must have an encouraging attitude that motivate learners to maintain high grades. Lastly is a learning environment must establish and maintain consistent standards of learners' behavior. Handles behavior problems quickly and with due respect to children's rights. Gives timely feedback to reinforce appropriate to learners' behavior. For example, tell them that they are very good when they did something good or when they show cooperation. We can also give something to them as their reward. Through that, children are likely to repeat the action that they have made. On the other hand, if the student is showing bad behavior, we can use positive reinforcement too. For example, student is always late, then we can make a deal with them. If they come early, then they don't have to take a quiz. If you saw a student who is very naughty and tend to just go around and won't cooperate on the discussions or a certain activity, as a teacher, you have to have a strategy that will pursue students to love learning by encouraging them that the activity is fun. And learning environment guides individual requiring development of appropriate social and learning behavior. It is the teacher's responsibility to remind their students of the classroom rules. A learning environment must allow students to express their ideas. It also creates stress-free environment. It takes measures to minimize anxiety and fear of the teacher or the subject. So as a teacher, you have to bind the characters of each student. If you saw a kid that seems to be in the corner and does not join in a certain activity, try to make friends with them so they will feel welcome. So that's it.